Yeah.
Hey! Listen!
Look! Watch out!
Perfect! Hey, Wooly.
What's going on, Navi?
Drop your goddamn fucking shield!
So if you guys can't tell, the comments have finally caught up with
They finally caught up! We recorded those a little early.
Yeah. In fact, we recorded quite a few parts before the whole thing started.
So you're just running around, trying to get these illusory walls. I was not aware until that Navi compilation of me just saying the advice over and over again was so just like the same. Like my intonation, my everything about it. That being said, I don't remember the exact poster. I want to give a big shout out to the guy in reference to, man, Pat tells him to drop his shield a lot. Replied with, yeah, but he's still not dropping his fucking shield. At least someone understands.
Habits. I know.
At least someone understands. I will try a target shield that's a parry shield.
Yeah.
I will try and lay off on too much of the coaching. That being said, you missed one of the invisible doors.
Motherfucker.
So already, Wooly, you have ruined my attempt at coaching sobriety.
Yeah.
That being said, here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna lay off on the quick moment-to-moment advice, such as drop your shield, idiot. And you're gonna die more often. Because you're gonna forget and just get slammed. So we'll see. It just means go behind.
Yeah.
We'll just see how well that works out. Now, in addition to all that shit,
You're gonna do what?
playthrough related.
Yo, yeah, right, of course.
Aside from all that shit,
There's some other shit going on.
here comes Mongo. And Mongo fucked up lightning builds.
Oh, boy.
While we were away, I'm like,
I didn't mean to go on the thing. I'm literally, like, just doing this.
I'm trying to fight my...
No, I know. I do remember that. Yeah.
Wow, do they fuck up lightning builds super hard? Your casts, like, what are you at for casts now?
Well,
3. You went from 10 to 3.
11.
11 to 3, and due to a bug in the calculation of faith-scaled bonuses to lightning, instead of receiving a 25% damage buff, it has received a 25% damage nerf.
Yeah.
We're not going to be respecing anytime soon, I don't think. We'll see how far we can go with what you got.
I think I can go okay.
Like, that nace will
won't-
do you just fine for a long time.
But I won't have the get-out-of-jail-free card.
No, but you will have a nice, sizable, early boss punch in the face. So, with that, now that I have nothing to talk about, because... Well,
about the
Wooly,
lore.
you're good. I'll talk about the lore. And the problem with talking about the lore in Dark Souls 2 is that it is, like, very contingent on the story of Dark Souls 1. It's, like, too much so. Like, there's not enough of this game that it's its own story.
Okay, to a fault, you think? Like, it's...
Did you just open a door and then leave?
No, I'm just looking at this area before I go back there.
Oh, okay.
Relax, dude.
I know! No. By the way, you must remember these guys from your own playthrough.
Yep.
They're assholes.
They're not great.
They're pieces of
I
shit.
don't have fun with them. I enjoy sniping them from a distance.
Yeah. But as you can see, your mace does actually a pretty decent job of taking them out.
I was concerned about, like, whether it'd be one swing or
we
two.
were sitting down here and you're like, uh-oh. Ruh-roh, in fact.
How much is it gonna be?
Is it gonna be 1? Is it gonna be 2? Because you wanted 1. If you wanted 1 on a swing, you'd go strength build. You'd get that big-ass greatsword.
So let me just... Is there an explosive in there with him? Is that what happens?
No, he's the explosive.
Oh, he just fucking... Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
he's the explosive.
Of course, right. And...
Also, other business for the playthrough. I believe I have solved the juddering issue.
Oh, did you play with shit?
We're now recording at 60 FPS.
Okay.
We're not going to be able to upload or render out at 60 FPS.
Unfortunately not.
But it seems to have been a problem with our recording software. It would record like exactly one half of every frame, and Dark Souls 2 doesn't play nice with that.
Okay.
Which would cause the juddering. It wasn't the frame rate going to shit. It was just a very, very, like, half-step measure that would cause judder. So it would cause judder by not doing it properly. So what would happen is instead of recording 1-1-1-1, like one...
Wow, I got a lot. Okay.
It would record like one frame, and it's supposed to record no frame, then one frame, then no frame, right? But what ends up happening, something to do with the engine or our recording setup or whatever, is that it would record 3 frames and then drop 3 frames. So it would go in a way that would be visible.
Okay. It's very rare when that would happen, but it would be occasional. So
happens almost exclusively with PC games. I've never had the problem recording console stuff, because console either records 60 or 30, like just flat, you know.
So now we should be fine. Okay, let me just. Did I have any spells that I couldn't cast for? No, I didn't.
Well, you could always just back out and check. Like, this is not a final step by any means. This does means that we're not going to be leveling up that chime anytime soon, because we don't know how useful that's going to be long term. But yeah, spells. Let's see what you got. Soul Arrow, heal, and also you dumped a bunch of them into the...
Yeah,
into the whatever.
Pyromancy. And then in the actual item box...
Yeah. What do you got? You got... yeah. There we... no. There it is.
Nothing in the item box.
You held on to all of them.
Okay, well... Sure. In that case, we'll just... feel it all out. Just feel it out. So...
And you get 4 total soul vessels in the game. So while we're going to hold off on our first respec, like, there's plenty of respec to do.
Okay. Dex up. We've got slots, but we don't care about slots.
Slots only... Yeah, not yet, because we don't even have enough to fill those slots.
We can go with...
Like, my old advice would have been to just keep pumping faith.
But we don't need it just yet.
We don't need it just yet.
So I'm feeling out.
So you can't really go wrong with endurance, vitality, vigor, things that make you faster, stronger, better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're not using any strength or dex weapons. So pumping those at the current time would be kind of meaningless. You know what I mean?
I love how that's coming full circle.
This is the first time that I've seen like that level of criticism voiced at me, not malicious, and to the point where I'm like, ooh, yeah, I do sound like that. Because usually it's like, it's not that bad. No, it's a little bad.
What can you do for me, sir?
What can you do? Buying weapons.
You can pump the char and the chime up.
Oh, this is the. Yeah, okay.
And the shield. I don't want to pull up the shield. So you're saying a new chimer is going to come around the corner?
There's always new chimes, and there's only one chime that's worth upgrading, and it doesn't even use Titanite.
Okay. Well then, fine.
And honestly, that chime is so good that I will look into it and honestly consider still keeping some faith build aspects, because that chime is godlike. That being said, it'd be wise for us to branch out somewhat.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit.
Alright, well then in that case, let me see if I can even do that with what I have in my inventory at all. I can start pyromancying a little bit.
What's the spec on pyromancy? Yeah, pyromancy has no requirements. That being said, it scales with faith. Wow, I thought for sure it scaled with intelligence. Can you hit select for me?
What do you want to look at?
Yeah, it scales with faith. Wow.
So, that's a viable route as well.
A viable alternative.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, pyromancy flames have to be upgraded by a special item. It's a seed.
Some of the comments as well talking about the dumping of the Dranglaic set.
Yeah. The Dranglaic shield is godlike. And honestly, at this point, after you pumped your vitality and endurance, you might be able to use it no problem. Those comments are right. I personally really enjoyed the leather shield on my last time through. That being said, the Dranglaic shield, yeah, dump that Archdrake, that piece of shit. Dranglaic shield is over on the right somewhere.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not used to the item box. How do you get to it?
R1.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the bottom left one.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see what we got. That is special because it is a 100% damage reduction shield.
Okay.
Which means that...
You can't check the stats here.
No, you gotta go in and give them
Alright.
stuff. I believe you might be like a little low on a strength requirement for it. You need a little more strength.
Okay.
So
How much more strength?
You need
6.
4 more strength.
Okay.
Now, that for a 100% damage reduction shield, that is worth it. And there are weapons later on that we could go towards that would require a slightly high strength anyway. Now, granted,
I've got a lot of these.
you got a lot of these.
I don't know if I'm going to use all the
You
weapons.
don't have 4 worth. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it's at...
You would need approximately 21 grand.
25. No, I'm count. Am I? Okay, well...
You need 4, yeah. You need 21, 22
All
grand in souls. So what you can do is work towards it, like punt some stuff into it and get your strength up to like 14, and then the next boss or the next area you could get, you get them. But for the time being, yeah. So the one you were at, I think, is called the Servants' Quarters.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
that's correct. And unfortunately, one thing I do remember, I used the fucking Pharaoh's Lockstone
Yeah.
that I had,
Now we'll get another one later,
so
but all it means is that down here
I can't get into the
you
belfry.
can't get into the belfry yet.
So
sorry, fuckers.
bully and boom. Bullshit.
Sorry, fuckers who are clearly chomping at the bit
Yeah,
to get at it.
that sucks. We'll get back to it, I guess.
We'll get back to that shit later. I'm just calling everything Mongo
Yeah,
lately.
what do I have up
Because
there?
in
I
a
have-
emit force, you still have like what 8?
8.
That's not so bad actually.
That's decent.
I watched a lot of Botchamania. I recently watched Blazing Saddles for the first time. Mongo is just ingrained in my brain. It is just ingrained. Now, Wooly, I forgot about this part. You immediately, first encounter, you were creaking that DualShock.
It's just becoming
just like,
a thing.
oh,
It's just becoming a thing at this point.
well, yeah, eventually we're gonna get to the end. It's like, look at the DualShock Wooly played Dark Souls with, and it's completely twisted.
I think, honestly, that I hope that's how I play.
Yeah.
That's how it is at all
That's
times.
fine.
Because I wasn't. There's nothing nervous about what
If
just
you
happened.
snap the controller in half, that will make for an awesome audio clip. Like, that's all I have to say, really.
Right.
So yeah, I was talking before about the lore. Like, the lore of Dark Souls 2 is, like, unfortunately... first of all, it's not quite as well written as Dark Souls 1's lore. And the other bit is that it's not self-contained within itself. Like, it requires Dark Souls 1 knowledge to make sense of. So I'm a little nervous to talk too much about it, but I will try and give a bit of overview shit. So, for example, Lost Bastille, we'll later run into a guy who will explain this a bit more in depth, but in the Souls games, there's a common theme of an undead curse is becoming rampantly out of control. It's becoming a huge fucking problem, and killing the undead obviously solves nothing, because that's the whole point.
Now, keep in mind. Don't ruin shit for me, because
Well, let's remember. Also, for the fair viewer, you got all the way up to Drangley Castle,
yeah.
right? So that's what we're working with. But yeah, nice.
Don't
Perfect.
Don't spoil shit for me.
But yeah, so it is a common theme that the undead curse is becoming a severe problem, and the Bastille was a place to dump undesirables, to remove the undead,
and those guys. Ooh, tough wall.
and those are the guys you're running into.
Like, what was this room?
It was
what the fuck
It was
happened there?
bullshit. That's what it was. And eventually became just a place like, you know what? Let's just dump whoever
All the
we
things,
don't like
yeah.
in here.
So those guys are, I guess, the jailkeepers type of thing?
They are called, I believe, in the enemy list, they are called mummified jailer. Or something
Okay,
like that.
okay.
They are the wardens. The wardens. That's it.
Sure.
And these are the inmates, who have become so cursed and undeadified over time that they are just exploding with curse.
Yeah, it's fucking...
They're literally bursting with curse. All right.
Wrong.
All right, this is good. I like this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of this. So these guys are very vulnerable to what would be a counter hit, which was
Okay.
that. So remember I said these would take 2 hits? These would take 2 hits raw,
Okay.
right? As if they were just standing there. But if you snatch them in their fall before they pop,
Yeah.
it's 1. Because strike damage in Dark Souls 2 is godlike. It's fucking amazing.
They don't, like, you can't really lure them the way you want to there. I noticed that they come at you, but they don't really start doing their lunge until
Yeah.
they feel confident, I guess.
That was a very cool move you did there, Wooly.
Uh-huh. Now, I would usually spell this guy. Do I have a knife I could just toss him with?
Let's see. You don't have one equipped, but you probably have
Yeah,
one.
I've got one there.
Yeah. So, it was mind-blowing to me when I found out that on... Oh, yeah! You have to walk... Yeah. That on a lot of enemies, throwing knives are just one-hit kills.
That was pretty good right there,
Uh,
honestly.
Keep that on,
Keep them
honestly.
on? Alright, fine, I'll keep
Like,
them on.
they're very useful.
No problem.
I would like to point out that there are 2 guys in those vases.
They are indeed 2 guys in those vases.
And they go really super nuts when you do that. They don't like it. That is actually pretty solid.
Come around?
You know,
Yeah.
this reminds me of one of
come
those
around.
things where,
Okay.
you know what, like, let's take the fighting game example, which I've noticed people have also, like, hopped on and like,
Yeah.
wow, Pat explains every single thing in every game as a
Using
fighting
the
game,
fighting game
because
lore.
it's you.
Yeah.
Because you know fighting games.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck was I gonna say? Oh my god. No, but you remember when you would be really, really tired and you'd run a set of games exhausted. And that set was terrible. Right?
Okay, okay.
You next time you would come back, you'd be like, oh, this is easy. Like this combo, this mechanic.
The muscle memory has kicked in.
Like, doing it tired, going to sleep, it kicked in. And I feel like you're there now, where you just dealt with those dudes with a level of mace confidence that I've literally never seen you use with a melee weapon in this series.
Oh, good to know. That's awesome. I like hearing that. Thank you.
Like, you didn't, like, you're getting used to the melee way of thinking.
Yeah. I can feel. I'm feeling a bit more comfortable now, knowing how strong it is. Like just taking the swing.
Like, also, in addition
know?
with that large patch, they nerfed the fucking shit out of, like, I want to say half
that
of the game's
window leads
weapons.
back to where I was.
I don't know, just, like, I honestly
Yeah.
don't even know.
I'm trying to remember what
This is one of those areas I
Neutron.
only found on my second game. I'm not super familiar. Well, what's the worst that could happen? You drop through, and you're
Everybody-
back. Oh, you're just back here.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, that's not so bad.
The party starts over and everyone's there.
Is there a
again
way to
now.
get to that one?
Yeah, there totally is.
I know there is, but there's the bad way and then there's the good way.
And then we can do this jump, which like
You have huge nuts.
fucks us over for.
Is the word of the day balls once
the
again?
word of the day is always balls, Pat.
Always.
But the question is.
Always!
Yeah.
Remember, it's the L3. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry.
Oh,
Don't worry.
what a gigantic improvement.
Flame butterfly, and torch. And
What a gigantic improvement over Dark Souls 1's jumping system.
yeah, like this one I still feel is awkward, but like when you told me what it used to be, I still can't. believe
Run and
that.
then tap the run button.
Oh my god.
What a shit. And there are some hard jumps in DS1. There are some hard jumps. So, the Bastille, there's a lot of,
There we go.
there's a lot of bits in DS2 that are areas that, like, if it were a different series or the story was presented differently, you'd be like, oh, this is just the same, this is just the old lava level, this is the new lava level,
Oh,
right?
Where's my tiptoeing animation?
There is no tiptoeing animation. However, here, the Dark Souls 2 story is built on the idea of a cycle.
What do you mean?
Over the permanence of events. Like, events will eventually loop on themselves, because that's fate. You cannot escape
Okay.
certain inevitabilities.
Okay. Soul of Rivoria, Golden Wing Shield.
The golden windshield, if I remember correctly, is just garbage. Yeah, 60% physical reduction.
But its magic reduction is pretty good.
Yeah, so that'd be a good thing for an area later in the game where people are just pelleting you with magic shit all the time.
Yeah.
You can just walk back.
No, you can't.
Oh, well, fuck me then. See if you can get the jumping attack on him.
Oh, that? Yeah, okay.
Or the drop down. Now, the trick with that is, once you're in the full fall animation, you hit it. Not as you're coming off, because then you just do a lame... Perfect. Amazing. Great.
Oh, you fucker. Forgot about you for a minute there. Alright.
Yeah, you have come in, like, to a general higher level of competency overall. It's kind of shocking, considering we took, like, a week between the last time, or, like, a week and a half.
Oh.
Like, just overall more, like, you know?
Yeah, alright. Where am I going again?
Back to the service
Yes,
quarters.
that's correct. Yes. So.
Also, people will not be able to invade us because you're hollow. Actually, no, wait. You can be invaded while hollow, but it's a lot more difficult.
Okay.
The way that the invasion stuff works in this game is that human players in parties are by far the most likely people to be invaded. After that is human players. After that is hollow members in parties. I believe. No, just hollow members.
I know fuckers are making builds that are gunning for me, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This is one of those things in which, like, I'm trying to help you out and build you towards what is a nice and catch-all PvE build.
Right.
That being said, you can easily spec your character to be okay in PvE, which is player versus everything for people that don't know what I'm talking about, but a monster in PvP. Because you're specking towards having one spell fire off twice, but it kills.
Yeah, or like the poisoning dudes.
Yeah, or the
like
guys
that.
using like gimmick poison whips and shit.
Yeah.
Being assholes. Oh yeah. Wow, I didn't think that it would be one, but it is in fact just one. Also,
sick.
When they hit the ground, if you roll as right after they hit the ground, but before the explosion, you can get away.
Okay.
It's a very finicky.
The way I'm feeling right now is I'm just gonna go for the kill when I can and as I can, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, deal with that.
You just don't like those.
I just don't want to hit that mistakenly like when I did before. You know?
Yeah.
Fuck you! Oh, that wall again!
It's because your hand is
hitting
actually
the wall.
touching the wall.
Yeah. Alright.
I feel like that throwing knife actually does 100% damage. Like, it doesn't do a good amount of damage. Like, against low-tier, non-aggro enemies, I think it just raw kills them. You know what I mean? I think they have
maybe,
157 HP.
I would doubt it, but maybe, you know? Not impossible.
See, and if you touch them, if you go up and touch nipples, they freeze.
You're right.
They're like, oh!
Which is a very different pattern from everything else.
Yeah, especially considering they're kamikaze. Yeah. I don't think he aggroes, like, fast enough, you know what I mean? Like, he will aggro eventually, but yeah, there you go, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta manually unlock and relock, because it's taking too long to, like, do the quick turn.
I was talking with Plague about this last night, and he recently went back to Dark Souls 1, and immediately came away from it going, oh my god, this game is so much better. Like, just... Like, you know, we spent a lot of time with DS2.
In what way?
One of the examples that he used, and I thought was very interesting. So, Plague, forgive me if I fuck your... That's Plague of Gripes.
Yes.
Forgive me if I fuck your argument up, but he says that movement in DS2 is so improved, like, overall movement and controls are so improved that it fucks up the game's design.
Okay. I'd like to hear the elaboration on that.
I know exactly what he means, but I will use my own example.
Shoutouts to this horrifying elevator.
Yeah, that's a classic.
You can't even descend in like
that is
ease in your mind.
That is a classic. The ones in the earlier games were scarier.
And this is a prison, like you just said, right?
Yeah.
So, Wilted Dusk Herb.
That gives you more spell casts. Like, it will retrieve your spell casts.
Yes.
Imagine Mega Man 1 as it is, but Mega Man had a double jump.
Okay. Yeah.
Doesn't that fuck the game up?
Entirely.
The game's generally improved controls and responsiveness end up kind of breaking encounters because you're too good.
Do you remember what this is?
I don't remember how to get down there, but I remember it not being worth it.
Yeah, I remember.
I vividly
I remember it not being worth it as well. I totally do. Yeah. I remember like doing it and being like, "That's it.
That's it?
Fuck this.
That's all I get?
Yeah.
This is horse shit," I said.
That,
Also,
because I don't while you don't remember the items in places, you remember the emotions.
You remember the emotion.
You have
absolutely.
Emotional memory.
Now this room is probably it's one of the worst design rooms in the entire game. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Fucking Backstreet Boys hanging out
In addition to having 5 kamikaze enemies, which I think is overkill. Even for a game that's supposed to be hard, I don't think that's well designed. I think you just did too much.
I don't have a branch of yours, so I can't.
You don't, so there's no real
anyway.
point going up there.
Yeah.
That being said, there's a merchant in that room.
My
Eventually.
buddy, my boy is in that room.
Right? But
I fucking
those
love
enemies never go away. So when you talk to him, you have to fight the enemies every time.
Yeah, that's true.
It's horseshit.
And he's just laughing at you. Like, I like that idea.
I like that you remember to keep your shield up. Because this is the shield fucking moment. Now, somebody asked me to show something off here.
Salt fork.
Not going to be able to do so. That being said, this if you get as a player yourself to this part of the game and on that bridge, what you can do is wiggle back and forth as they shoot that shit at you, and you will see, without a shadow of a doubt, that enemy bolts track you.
Oh, while moving.
They will
bit.
move like left and right, like 10-fold degrees to track you.
I feel. You know what? I fucking believe that.
And that's goddamn horseshit.
I didn't know that, but I believe it because
that
there's moments where you're like, really,
really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, if we're continuing the bad design, like extravaganza,
how about this fucking?
This
bonfire,
is a very, very poorly designed bonfire.
13. I can cash in 2 on that.
Yeah, why not? We'll get to this bonfire back later, but as you can see, there are enemies
right there.
Right there. Right there!
The motherfucking salt fort.
What a bunch of horse shit.
Yeah.
And yes, it's a salt fort. I burst out laughing when I got to that shit.
Oh, man.
I could not believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'll take that.
Yeah, we'll go towards that 100% physical shield. That motherfucking weapon is so amazing!
Damn it, guts!
That is the de facto strength weapon.
It looks so good, too.
It's all fucked up and chipped.
Oh, wait.
It is a stunning... Oh, you know what we should do?
What's up?
We should check the mansion.
Oh.
We haven't been back in a couple
while,
weeks.
right? Yeah, always check the mansion.
Always check that
Every
mansion.
3-4 episodes, we're going to be checking the
Now,
mansion.
I made a comment that some of the lore hounds disagreed with violently, was that there's a possibility that the skeleton in Majula Basement is the chosen undead from Dark Souls 1, the player character from Dark Souls 1. People, the main thing to refute this is that every New Game Plus, a new one shows up, right? I would wow, okay, fuck that, we missed the boat.
It's done.
It was the step up to the DLC, which is now out.
And it's never going to happen again.
And it's never going to happen again, probably until the next run-up of DLC.
Fair enough.
Fuck me. My argument would be that those are your characters on subsequent cycles being burned away. That is a room in which you find the destroyed remains of an item called the Lord Vessel.
Okay.
Which is a bowl. It's a very important bowl in Dark Souls 1's lore. Its main purpose in Dark Souls 1 was the key to the end of the game. And it also allowed teleportation between bonfires, which is something that is unlocked by the Lord Vessel in Dark Souls 1. So the argument could be made that that is the place where the Chosen Undead died and was reincarnated as a skeleton, and that the reason bonfire teleportation is unlocked right away in this game is because in Dark Souls 1 you unlocked bonfire teleportation. Reverse Metroidvania. Samus got the Ice Beam in Super Metroid, therefore she starts Metroid Prime with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But Dark Souls version.
Was there a thing? Yeah, there was a thing right there.
There is a thing up there.
Yeah, you're talking to people, and not to me at that point.
Well, yeah. But yeah, basically the idea is that events in Dark Souls 1 gave you gameplay benefits in Dark Souls 2 through your actions. That's it.
Okay.
That Lord Soul is, in fact, super busted up in that room in pieces. Like, people have looked at the textures, and it's like, it's the same item that they busted up and is destroyed, which is one of those little, like, this is a fucking sequel moments. Also, if you use a map viewer to zoom out, you see that the completed reference Lord Vessel is floating above the room, like 10 feet above the room.
Fuck you.
Wow, get fucked. Get wrecked. That was quite good.
Thank you.
I didn't even have to tell you to drop your shield. But yeah, if you use the map viewer, you can see the test version of the item above the room for reference. It's hilarious. Now this is some shit right here. This bullshit. These guys are so good. They do so much damage. It's
Please let me look at
ridiculous.
this guy. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. You are...
I wanted to do 3, but
You
I
are so improved, it's immaculate.
Oh wow, thank you. I'm just going forward.
Yes!
I'm not-
That's what I've been saying for 13 episodes!